Hey YouTubers, I'm lucky enough to have a piece of property that has a nice side yard access here with a sliding gate so I can park an RV or race car trailers or whatever I want to do back here. I'll admit though, the first problem I had is that this gate, operating this gate with a motor, has been nothing but problems for 7 years. I had a rack and pinion system that I got from Gate Crafters. The manufacturer was a Stateslide, or State Swing I think is the company name, and the product was called a Stateslide. Looked almost exactly like this cozy 110 volt chain driven, except it was a rack and a pinion. So what's a rack and a pinion? If you don't know, this is one of the racks. So you'll notice that there's like teeth on here, and this rides on a pinion, and the pinion turns, and that's what moves the gate back and forth. So if we look closely at my gate, you can see that this is where the rack was mounting on the gate. Thank goodness it's not on there anymore. I chose a rack and pinion system because I thought that the chain driven was more complex, and I couldn't have been more wrong. As you can tell, the gate's 7 years old. I need to get a coat of paint on this. That's it. You just mount your chain on either side. It doesn't even have to be precise on either side. It just has to be close. Unlike that rack, which would skip on the pinion. I mean, there were numerous other issues with that Stateslide motor, not the least of which is the fact that it didn't have limit switches on the close position, so it had to unwind the motor based on the number of revolutions it counted when it opened. And if it was wrong, it didn't stop. It just kept on grinding and grinding and grinding. So I'm done bashing a Stateslide for now. I will say it was $600. This little cozy unit's $189. So for a third of the price, you get a 110 volt, super strong motor, way stronger than the 12 volt one, and a chain drive. And it comes with 2 key fob remotes. These little key fob remotes are pretty solid. They are chrome and black, and they're really well made. If I had one criticism, it's the why do we have 4 buttons on here? Because it's only 1 button open, 1 button stop, and 1 button close, and it's all the same button. This works flawlessly every time, which brings me to a couple add-ons I did. First of all, I have this keypad now. It has the exact same operation as the key fob remote. The exception is that you have to put in a code for security reasons, obviously. So the gate motor was $189. That key fob was $35, I believe. And then the last add-on I did was this retro enforcer beam that sends a beam across here. And I think you may have seen that reflector shining back at us before. Just your typical bicycle reflector comes with it. But what this allows is this beam only has to be wired on one side. I didn't have to run a wire underneath my V groove here, where V track, where the fence or where the gate runs. So I only have to be wired on this side. This guy was 50 bucks, and you know, it had some criticism in the reviews about it getting wet and causing problems. So I just wrapped mine in Ziploc baggie, and it seems to work just fine. Although I haven't been through a rainy season yet, so we'll see if the Ziploc baggie fixed the problem. But what's beautiful about this is that I can implement the Autoclose feature of my gate motor now, which A, wasn't included with the Stateslide, but B, I wouldn't have implemented anyway because there was no way to detect if something was blocking it. With 110 volts and the quality of this motor, it's important to understand if it closes on your vehicle, it only stops with those limit switches. The limit switch for open and the limit switch for close down there. If it does not sense those, it will keep running. And that motor is torquey. It would do some damage to your car, a kid, a dog, anything that might step in the way. So I have a 45-second auto close. I'm not going to bore you with seeing that, but I will close the gate and then break the beam here just to show that it not only stops, but it reverses and opens back up, resets to 45 seconds, and I can close it again. Oops, I tripped it again. It's working as it's designed. And close it again. And the exciting part about this is the fact that when this gate closes, it stops. The motor does not run and run and run. I don't have to babysit this gate opener. Every time I see it close, I'm so happy with this Amazon purchased $189 cozy China-made 110 volt chain driven sliding gate opener. Comes with 2 key fobs. I highly recommend the Retro Enforcer infrared to go with it, as well as the keypad. What's great about this keypad is that I can walk out of my yard and go over to my neighbor's house, and I don't have to hit the keypad again because my gate's gonna close in 45 seconds. I always know at all times my gate is closed unless something is parked in the middle of this, in the middle of the gate. Well, I hope that helps you make a decision on what you want to do with your sliding gate motor, because this cozy, worth every penny. So much better than the product's 3 times its price.